Yanky, the best business books you have read ever?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me a difficult question. 5 books come to mind, not because they're necessarily the best written books ever, or because their message is the most important ever. They are highly readable, very accessible, and I think that they cover some really fundamental aspects of the business and management world. And the first one is Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. Gladwell is a very popular writer, and it's not that he comes up with new stuff, but he finds research and converts this research into very accessible findings that with Blink, for example, it's all about the 2-second blink moment that everyone has whenever we encounter someone new. And of course, this has amazing repercussions. Every time you interview somebody, meet somebody for the first time, it's an important lesson and very easy to understand. So I like that. I think it's a good book. Fierce Conversations by Susan Scott, which is really about communication. It's fierce, not angry, but fierce as in sharp and focused. And her message is very simple. She says, the next conversation you have could be the most important conversation in your life. If more people remembered that every time they sat down to have a conversation, I think that we'd all be in better shape. A Whole New Mind by Daniel Pink. Again, Daniel Pink is not telling us something we didn't know before. He talks about right brain and left brain. The subtitle of the book is Why Right-Brainers Are Going to Rule the World. So you can definitely see where he's coming from. And of course, it's a plea for more right-brain thinking, more creativity, more openness, less rigidity, and no one that I've ever come across explains the right-left brain difference better than he does. The 4th book would be The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. This is not a light book. It's not light reading. It's like, it's a bit like getting into an ancient text, and it's almost written in that style. He has a very simple message. Life is war. Business life is even more like a war. And if you don't look after yourself, and if you don't protect yourself, you will be attacked and you will be defeated. And he says this applies to all business. And so he talks about specific strategies that help you overcome the obstacles and the people who are out to get you. Conspiracy theorists are going to love this book. And if you're not a conspiracy theorist, there's still a lot in there which I think is very valuable. The final book in my top 5 would be Ken Robinson's book called The Element. Now, Ken Robinson is one of those original thinkers. It's just a pleasure to look at him on YouTube, to hear him speak, and to read his writing. He believes that our educational system is all wrong. He believes that we, instead of encouraging creativity, we stamp on creativity. And since that is one of my pet themes in life anyway, I was very drawn to this book. It is a plea for letting creativity take over instead of the very narrow-focused education that we all get. And he says our businesses are suffering because we all went to school, basically, and I agree with that. So there's my top 5.